this time, because I have the community, I have the ability to talk to people, I feel like now, when I do have setbacks, when people look at trading, they have a bad day, right? And everyone has a bad day, and we're all human, and we can all make mistakes. So you need to look at the broader spectrum. So I know I'm here for the long term. So even if I have a bad week, maybe a bad month, maybe a bad couple months, it's irrelevant, because I'm here forever.
Right.
Because I know the long term, I'm going to be, in the higher echelons of the earning figures for sure. And I just know that's going to happen because of the confidence I have in my strategy, in addition to the fact that I get to, talk with amazing traders all day, and they also kind of help you through those not darker times, but those harder times.
Sure.
Yeah, I can't remember what the original question is. I go on tangents sometimes.
Yeah, no, it's good. Those are great tangents to have. The
Yeah.
idea flow is the good stuff. So that's awesome. So Ash, so you trade indices. Do you trade anything else, or do you focus solely on indices?
So indices are I just find that they all move very similar. However, sometimes, I can see a better potential R2R on something like the DAX or the US 30 or the NASDAQ. So for those who aren't aware what indices are, indices is just, imagine all the groups of like top stocks. So for example, with the NASDAQ, it's just the top 100 companies put into one product. And that's the same as like US 30, it's just all the top 30 stocks out there, or companies, sorry, put into one thing. And then you got the S&P 500, which is just a general sentiment of the market as well. Real simple, for those who don't know. And if you've never looked at them before, I'd recommend just having a look and seeing, if it's something that you think you can identify structure quite easily with. Sorry, someone just asked a question. Do you want to answer it?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
So, do you look at risk to reward or to pips? So risk to reward, I always focus on, because that's how you can establish what you're going to get at the end of the trade. Because some people have fixed stop losses, especially in Forex, especially with let's say, for example, GJ, right? They typically have 10, 20 point stop, 20 pip stop, right? And then they go to the 10 pips, 20 pips or whatever. That's a strategy. Some people, they just don't want any more than 20 pips. Any more than that, they'll sit out the trade. Whilst for me, especially with the markets at the moment, I'll always aim for 20 to 30 point stop pips. Pips and points are very much the same thing in terms of terminology. But at the moment, you're looking at 80 to 150 point stops, just because the market is moving crazy right now. Crazy. But it's good, because that means, there's more pips to be gained. And if you can get a red hot entry, risk towards there to be taken now.
Right. Yeah, no, that's a great way of saying it too. I think the volatility concept we mentioned when, COVID first started, and now with this recent Russia-Ukraine situation, the volatility expansion can be crazy. Yeah. And it's something that you do have to kind of account for with your trading strategy, right? You have to be ready for changes in these market dynamics, because, there are times where during a lower volatility period of time where you may be risking 50 pips on a trade, and that seems like a comfortable distance for you based on your strategy. But then things expand like crazy, and suddenly 50 should be more like 150, right? That it's got to be widened to fit the higher volatility. So you might need to shrink your position size, increase your stop loss to give that volatility a chance to move around. So it is something to think about in terms of risk to reward, pips. It's definitely a very good question. So thank you, Lee, in the chat for that.
Well, I mean, obviously, due to what's going on the other side of the world, it's causing mayhem across all markets, and it's hard for people to understand. It's not profiteering from said thing, right?
Of course.
At the end of the day, the markets are going to do what they're going to do, and you're just playing. You're just playing your part. So with that, you got to be really careful in these times when trading. I'd probably say either lower your risk, because there's going to be lots of big moves. So even like you feel like you might, instead of, let's say, you risk 1%, risk 0.5%. Like I personally risk 0.5%, and I'll push it to 1%, just because it's, as you start to gain more in capital, you need to really kind of focus on protecting that. And what my kind of motto is to anyone, especially that's new to trading, or maybe doing it for a year or so, is that you got to remember your capital is limited. but the profits are unlimited. So it's really, really, really important you protect that downside, because at the end of the day, your capital is not always going to be there. You're going to pull it out at some point, or the market's going to take it. But the market is going to be there when you're gone. It's going to be there for the rest of the time. So,
Right.
it's just really, really important that you protect your capital, because sometimes you can get lost in the moment. Like, so for example, today I probably did a bit of over trading. So, I had a bit of a red day, but I could have walked away with a blue day.
Sure.
But when for me, I'm aware of when these things happen. But you just got to take it on the chin, and it's okay to be human. It's okay to lose, and I think that's the important bit that you need to understand. And when people ask how long does it take, it's how long is a piece of string. Other people, I met people that have learned the game in like 6 to 12 months. I know people that spent 10, 12 years. Everyone's journey is completely different, but the key thing is stay at it, because once you finally crack the code, and you will crack the code, you just need to stay at it and fine tune what you're doing that is wrong. And when you're losing, sometimes it's good to just sit and sweat in that loss, because if you keep on just standing up straight away, the most likely thing is it's going to happen again.
Right.
So that's why I always kind of reiterate, like, I don't know if you've watched some of my videos, when I go through a losing trade, this is how I could have taken the same trade if I just waited a bit longer or gave it a second chance, etc. So that's why I do the kind of trade reviews as well.
You make a great point there, Ash. I just want to add in something that you pointed out. So you mentioned cracking the code, right? And cracking the code is a great way of putting it. But you even added something else that I don't even know if you realize you did it. It's so awesome. You pointed out that you will crack the code of whatever you're doing wrong, right? Because the code is not a universal code. The code is really something where it's, here's what Ash is struggling with. Here's what Nick is struggling with. Here is what, anybody in the chat is struggling with. This is what you are personally going through. This is what's holding you back as a trader. These are the losses that you can kind of sit on and focus on and be like, what am I doing wrong here? What can I fix here? And self-correcting the issues that you're facing to crack your own code. It really is an individualistic journey, even though there are things that you can learn from other traders. You've got to see which things are holding you personally back in this stuff. That is really, really key. And, of course, we love that concept that you talked about. You have a limited number of amount of capital, but unlimited in the sense that, that's the potential profit that you can make, especially if you can start mastering yourself and cracking that own code for yourself.
Yeah. And I think, like you were saying before, everyone has their own weaknesses, and it's really, really important just to accept that we have weaknesses as well.
Yes.
Most people, it's hard to shake a weakness. Like, so for example, I'm aware, like when people say, they get that when they overtrade, but there's a feeling there. So if you can write down what that sensation is, when you start to feel that, right, I'm starting to, get the itchy finger, right, that means I need to stop trading. So when people think, that they get that feeling, it might be alien, but you need to do the opposite of what your body is telling you to do. And that only can be done by you and no one else. Like, I can reiterate the point 100 million times, and I do kind of reiterate the point. But it's really, really important that, you could go down this path of insanity, and we've all been there, at the start, because you don't understand what you're doing wrong, because you're not actually taking a step back and reviewing. And it's not until you start to, I think, I can't recall who said it. It's like, at the end of the day, how much more money do you want to lose before you just take it seriously?
Right.
Because,
exactly.
There's that term, like, anyone can trade. I don't think anyone can trade. I think anyone can understand the markets. I think anyone can understand price action or fundamentals, but applying that to the real world is different, because there's the greed gremlin, okay, and sometimes it's always whispering in your ear more. And once you start to understand that, we're in a world now where there's so much opportunity to gain capital. Let's say, for example, you just trade a demo account for 6 months, but you can show consistency and profit. If you just walk into like a broker, or if you just reach out to some investors, you just say, look, I've got some data here, would you take a chance on me? The likelihood is they'd say yeah.
Right. Right.
you know?
And that's the thing is focusing 6 months out with a demo account. Like that's the stuff that nobody wants to hear when they first start because they want to get started making money, get involved. But that kind of concept, if you employ the same level of dedication to a demo account where you're just proving to yourself and potentially investors that you are, capable of doing this and keeping risk small and consistently profiting, that's going to be at the end of the day the number one thing in generating consistency overall. Ash, I have a question for you. Do you have a YouTube channel?
Not yet. I'll be starting it this week though.
Okay,
So
cool. Yeah, I was going to say, so guys, before we go here, I do want to just send everybody who has an Instagram account, go check out Ash G on Instagram. It's just the Party Shirt Trader. Is that right? Or is that, am I wrong about that?
So the Party Shirt, I've got loads of scam accounts already, which is crazy.
No, it's the worst. They're everywhere.
So yeah, if you like traveling, if you like morning discos, if you like blue seas, bright blue seas, if you like just wild times and trade analysis, I show what the opportunity is if you really take it seriously. So you might think I'm, a loud, extravagant character, but I'm very serious about what I do, and I'm very passionate about what I do. So if you're bored or whatever, just go through my trade breakdowns, and you'll see what I'm thinking whilst I'm taking said trades, because I share it on my story as well, all the trades that I take. I show the wins, I show the losses, but at the end of the day, I'm here for the long term, and you'll see, I've got big plans lined up as well this year with, social trading and other things. Like I'll hopefully be doing some live trading and everything soon. The only thing is, like with the YouTube, I can see there's a lot of effort involved.
Oh yeah,
And
there's a lot of people and a lot of time involved for what we do for sure.
For sure. And so my aim is, if I can continue down, let's say over the next 6 months of doing what I do in terms of income, I might just hire a body to just follow me around, because I think it would just suck up so much time. Because the reality is, I just want to live my best life and keep the trading as a way to generate income. Sure. And then the affiliate stuff with the funded trader is another piece of income, and then the social trading and things like that. So
yeah, absolutely, guys. We'll go check them out. We've got it up on the screen here now. Thank you, Chandler, for doing that. So the Party Shirt Trader on Instagram, check them out. Again, very much good trading content as well as some entertainment as well. So Ash, thank you very much for coming on, man. I hope to see you come on again. It's been great. And again, guys, go check them out on Instagram.
Interested in seeing our trades live as they happen? By joining the A1 Trading Discord, you'll get a notification every time one of our traders enters a position. Each trade we share comes with an entry price, a stop loss, and most importantly, a full breakdown of why the trade was taken. Learn alongside our experienced traders, join our active chat room, and ask your questions in our coaching webinars. Between our team of active traders, we trade Forex pairs, commodities like gold and oil, crypto, and stocks. By joining the group, you'll be able to keep up with all of it. Sign up today using the link in the description, and don't forget to use our promo code listed below for a special subscriber discount. Thanks for watching, and see you inside.